as of April 14th, which is yesterday, here are the draft lottery odds. San Jose Sharks at 25.5%.
Good odds.
Blackhawks 13.5. Ducks 11.5.
Good odds.
Blue Jackets, who've had a great attendance year, like outstanding attendance year in Columbus.
For some reason?
Yeah. That news came out this morning. 9.5% and Montreal at 8.5%. Interestingly, there are two teams with a 500 points percentage or higher that are in the lottery sweepstakes. And that would be New Jersey at even 500.
No.
It's a Bettman 500, by the way, because they're 38, 38, and 5.
Yeah.
And then the Buffalo Sabres, who are at a 506, 38, 37, and 6. And they have 3.5% and 3% each.
Sorry, what?
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say,
insist.
do we want to officially host the draft lottery right now?
Yeah.
Because Tankathon.com has the draft lottery simulator.
Let's go.
And we can do the official results.
Okay.
I want to do it. We should do this once every show until they do it.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you get to be Gary.
Okay.
So walk up
Not Gary
there,
Glenn, Gary Bettman.
pull the ping pong ball, and
I'm keeping this team here for 25 years. Okay, go.
and I'll hit the
Sorry,
sim lottery button. Maddie, if you want to bring this up.
All right.
I hit it. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
too early.
Let me put
All right,
on my
hold on.
glasses.
Reset. There we go.
Reset. All right. Sim 8. Go.
San Jose!
Whoa, but we have big movement.
Oh!
The New Jersey Devils move up to 2.
Wow. Can you imagine?
And the Chicago Blackhawks with the 3rd overall pick. Ducks 4th. Blue Jackets 5th. Habs get wrecked and lull 6th. Utah 7th.
Can I just say, if the Ducks are this bad for this long and never get a first overall pick, it's going to be a sad day.
Just replace Ducks with Detroit.
San Jose has not earned their first overall pick yet. Anaheim has.
I don't know, man.
They're bad.
San Jose is like historically
I know,
bad.
but what I'm saying is that have they been this bad for long enough? And I don't think they have.
If I'm the Sharks truther, you're the Sharks liar.
I think the Ducks need to be bad for
pretty
longer.
bad.
Or sorry, the Sharks need to be bad for longer because Anaheim,
yeah,
they've deserved this. And at a certain point, like it does go to say that there is a lot of elements of truth of the fact that tanking doesn't work the way that people think it does. You look at the way the Leafs did it. They hung on to some of their veterans. JVR, Bozak, Kadri being 3 guys. Morgan Riley was a young player, but he was up and coming. They had Jake Gardiner. They had some of these guys that were already there. And they played through that season and were the worst team in the NHL, but they were not that bad. Whereas now these teams are so bad, and it's going to take so long to recover from it.
I really think there will be something like what we just saw with the Devils there.
Like a big jump.
Well, how many teams...
If the Sabres get it, I'm going to freaking laugh and also cry a little.
Well, how many teams in this league are really genuinely bad?
3.
Bad with no prospect of being good anytime soon.
San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim, and I would put Columbus in there too.
Columbus is a fascinating one.
They're a disjointed, poorly coached, poorly managed team.
Yeah.
Until they change that.
Well, when
they
you
have
put it
talent
like that.
They have talent.
I think Jesse's pretty close.
I think it's 3. 3. Because I can't really include Chicago. Like they have Connor Bedard.
I know,
but they
and Frank
bad.
Fraser.
Outside of Bedard, it's kind of a wasteland. But they're also competitive on most nights.
What about the Coyotes, who are bad but have a ton of draft
The
picks?
Coyotes are going to go to Utah, and it's absolutely depressing. They're going to start buying, and they're going to be really good because they have a shit ton of draft picks, a lot of young prospects, and if they just spend money, and they'll be amazing.
And they have an owner that wants to spend money.
It's going to be awful.
Who, by the way, now that the Coyotes have moved, who will general managers call when they get into cap issues?
Ghostbusters.
Chicago's still there. They've been taking
Yeah?
salary for a little bit now, and
Because it's like, are you going to be able to get rid of the Datsuk and the Pronger and the whoever else ended up in Arizona the same way?
Carolina's always happy to throw you an anchor. Like,
Yeah.
somehow they're like always in contention and also like find a way to get involved in these deals.
Yeah.
That's such a good point, though, because a lot of, I assume, what the other 31 owners are looking at is you had a team who is literally not trying to be competitive for money reasons.
Yes.
And you're trying to get that out of the league. And
Yeah.
that's what they're successfully doing here.
I've listened to so many shows about the Coyotes recently that I don't remember which one this is from. It's either CJ Show, Agent Provocateur, or 32 Thoughts. The fee that the league is going to rather,
Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith is going to pay the league, is going to be dispersed amongst the...
That would be AP.
That was AP.
Mhm.
There you go.
Oh.
It's going to be dispersed amongst the rest of the owners. So they're all going to get like, I don't know, what, $30 million?
No,
Just under.
No, because it's the expansion fee is 1.3 billion, and they're buying it from
NHL.
Borello for 1 billion.
No, but the expansion fee that Smith is paying is the $300 million on top of that.
Yeah.
So that 300 mil will be dispersed.
Yes,
the rest
yes,
of it,
yes.
Divided by 31.
31
guessing.
teams. Yeah. So
So it's not that.
no,
much,
it's not
is what
30
I'm-
million. It's like 10 million.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I was like, you're way off.
10 times 30.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they haven't determined yet if Vegas and Seattle will be in that, because if you remember when Seattle came into the league, Vegas was excluded from the expansion fee because they're a new team and they don't get it. So it was dispersed amongst the 30 owners. So this time, I don't know if Seattle and Vegas, those owners are going to get their cut of that. It's going to be like, what, $12 million each.
Why did that excite
Sorry,
me like it mattered?
$10 million each.
It shouldn't have.
I
I don't get that money.
I
It's
do
not
think
mine.
I
Like,
do think that's the owner's way of getting their money back after supporting this franchise for so long. By the way, Vegas and Seattle have come in and been competitive and spent money. So just based on that, I feel like they deserve some of this.
Yeah, but you're not a part of my
No.
club for as long.
Yeah. You might be rich, but you're not in this rich club.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jesse. And you know what? There are teams like the Leafs and Blackhawks and Rangers and some of these big money teams, Boston, Detroit, who have paid this for the entirety of the franchise's fall into whatever it is now, whatever you'd call it, right? So,
What a mess.
like especially the Leafs and Rangers, who are the two highest generating revenue teams, they are the ones that have paid the most for the franchise. And so I wonder if they do that dispersal on a sliding scale. So they look at it like, okay, this team paid this percentage.
No.
That's too tricky.
Dude, if I was MLSE, I would get that anal about it because
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
This
is happening.
The lawyers got to lawyer that up.
I think so, but that's what I'd be like. I hired the best lawyers in this entire country for this.
And if I were Gary Bettman, I would tap you on your pretty little forehead and say, alas, no. And just
And it's only like
spread it out.
it's funny because you say it's only 10 million. That's great for all of us, but like $10 million to $1 billion franchise.
That's not
Like,
true. I said it's only 30 million.
It's true.
And I
It's
was
not that
wrong.
much.
To your original point with our draft lottery simulator and San Jose getting that and all that stuff, and you're talking about tanking not working. Like you got a phone call during that, and it was the Buffalo Sabres being like, "Yeah, we hold the record for longest consecutive postseason list streak of 13 now officially with the New York Jets, and that's a team that has tried to tank for 13 seasons now, and unsuccessfully. They haven't even had a postseason berth. And I feel like if you're one of these teams who missed the playoffs and like you have great lottery odds, it doesn't really guarantee anything.
No.
Unless you hit it like we hit with Matthews plus Nylander plus Marner plus everything kind of fell into place, then tanking worked. But you could also end up like Buffalo where you don't have anything to show for it after almost a decade and a half.
Silver lining with the Buffalo Sabres. I know Sabres fans are very down on the Sabres right now. They didn't try to tank this year.
No.
It worked out that way. But what they did
Isn't
do
that more depressing?
No, because they made two moves that made a lot of sense.
Bowen Byram.
Bowen Byram for Casey Middlestat. Middlestat, you're not going to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
And Byram makes you have
It's three defensemen who are top 10 picks in your
3-4 years down the line. It's easily conceivable they could have the best decor in the league.
3-4 years. Do you see what you're saying though?
No.
already
Yeah, but they improve over the course of 3-4 years.
No, but to get there, what about the previous
Right.
13?
yes.
You're still doing in a couple years we're going to begin. You did that 5 years
you're
ago.
right.
You did that 7 years ago. You did that 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when the Leafs made the playoffs in that crazy game where Connor Brown scored the game winner against Pittsburgh in 2017, that was a crazy game. And I've never forgotten it, and the stadium went nuts. People were saying before that, oh, well, like if they don't win this game, because Leaf fans prepare for the worst, if they don't win this game, it's like not on this group. It's not their fault that they've missed the last, was it 13 seasons except for one? And my point is, yes, it is. Because it doesn't really matter that this particular player wasn't there. The jersey that they're wearing and the fan that is paying was.
That was
and
also
so
my
it
point.
actually is on, unfortunately, you put on a Buffalo Sabres jersey, the history comes with it, just like with the Leafs. And I think I agree with you guys. I think this is going to be a spectacular team. I think they'll be good as next year they're going to be in the playoffs. Like, I don't think the race for the bottom of the East is going to be so easy next year. I don't think we're going to have a bunch of teams, which like we do right now, tied at 87 points. Like, how is it that the playoff cutoff is going to be like 91?
Who's supposed to go first? Like, usually we hear about them around this time.
What do you mean, first overall in the draft?
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini.
No, next year.
Oh, next year. Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Scott Wheeler had somebody that they had mentioned.
Yeah, but he's a nerd.
Yeah, what a nerd. What does he know?
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think because right now it's not time to talk about
Taylor Hall was well over a year ahead of time.
No, we're talking about Celebrini because he's supposed to be amazing.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, is there like a worse draft class is less incentive to tank? Unless you're the Raptors, then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Get 3 picks, be mid. Be so mid. Be bad by
actually
accident.
Trade your first round pick the previous year to make it into one wild card game.
I really am gonna beat them up.
Yeah,
I had to like.
They deserve a headlock.
I had to stop following them.
Like, did you unfollow the Raptors on Twitter?
No, not like that. Like
a breakup here,
dude. Obviously, I pay hyper attention to the Leafs, but then there's the Jays who you can't pay attention to every damn game. There's 162.
There are people that do.
I know, and I really love the Raptors. And finally, I had to just be NBA guy this year because I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize the starting lineup outside of like Grady Dick. And it's just tough.